So Shannon, I was on YouTube the other day surfing through a few videos, and I came across one of these motivational videos where this guy was discussing the importance of wanting success more than you breathe. And when I heard him say that, I was kind of taken aback. I was like, wow, wanting success more than you breathe. I mean, that's powerful. So, and that led me into, one of the topics that the Jaynect Group discussed on the Two Think Beyond radio show, having a can-win attitude and the importance of having that can-win attitude to really overcome obstacles, goals in your life. And seeing that video just revealed so much to me as far as the importance of can-win and how you need it. You have to have that in your head that, no matter what, I'm going to win.
I agree.
I can do it.
I agree. I think that you create your own reality. Wherever you are in life, I mean, it's how you feel is what you project into the world. It's putting out that positivity. It's if you believe it, you will make it happen. You can speak things into life.
And another thing, another thing is when you can-win attitude. It's also about who you surround yourself with. Also,
that's very important. Like the old phrase goes, birds of a feather flock together. You have to surround yourself with positive, motivating people because that's what's going to motivate you. You feed off of each other.
Right.
And so I agree with that. I mean, Daryl, kind of what's your point of view about that?
That article or that video you're referring to, I can't think of the guy's last name, was Sean something, but just kind of echoing that. I mean, the guy also said some people think they want success, but they don't want it. They just kind of want it. And he says, if you really want to be successful, sometimes you're going to have to go with 4 hours worth of sleep. Sometimes you may not even get to go to sleep. And I mean, if you really want it, you'll do whatever it takes to win. And so when I think of that, obviously that can be a turnoff for some people. And it's a mentality more so than anything else. Having a can-win attitude. I mean, I think that, it can be one of those things that people can just, kind of use as a catchphrase and never really understand the essence of what it means and what it's really saying. It's one of those things. It's the do or die attitude. It's one of those take no prisoners. It's like I fight to the death. I mean, that's how much you believe in your goals. That's how much you're willing to fight for your goals. And, it's crazy. I was talking to someone the other day, and obviously this person was going through a dry spell. They were kind of down. We all go through that, right? And he was just speaking in such a defeatist, attitude or about him. It's very defeatist. And I'm just like, dude, you can do whatever you want to do. And you just have to remember your greatness. And so when I think about the can-do attitude and you just think about just whatever it takes, obviously within a moral compass and doing the right thing, right, but ethically and so forth, but just doing whatever it takes to make sure you put yourself in a situation where you can win and succeed and reach your goals. I mean,
no. So he just hit something. He hit the nail on the head, right? He stated you have to put yourself in the right position to win. Okay, you can't sit at home all day watching TV and say, I'm going to start my business, I'm going to attain this degree, that degree, and all you do is sit at home and watch television.
I agree.
Right? You have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
Yep.
so you can learn what you do not know, so you can understand what you don't have an understanding of.
Or break
Right.
it down to even something as simple as what many Americans go through every day: weight loss. As you two probably don't have an issue with that. I myself was a thick girl growing up, and I had always said, you know what, I don't want to be just like my mother, who was a yo-yo dieter her whole life, saying, I'm going to start this new one on the first of the Sunday, the first of the month, the first of the week. There was always something that I always had to just trigger, and always a new onset, but she could never quite stay successful. It wasn't until about 40 years into her dieting later until she actually finally, something clicked, and she actually lost her weight. I myself, when I went through my weight loss journey back in high school, I told myself, I'm going to do this. And I surrounded myself with positive people within my group. I created my own mental mini goals to make sure that I achieved my goal. And 55 pounds later, I have maintained it off for a very long time, and I've stayed consistent. And there have been many Americans who've been able to lose it and then gain it back, lose it and then gain it back. It's the same thing. If you want to do it, you can do it, but you have to put forth the time, the effort, the commitment, and you have to make sure that you surround yourself with a good support system, because someone who likes sweets shouldn't be hanging around with somebody who's going to sit there and intimidate them and tempt them.
Which transitions into someone who wants to become a lawyer.
Yes.
You don't hang around with people who've dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Right? Who aren't maybe as ambitious. Now, I'm not saying everyone who dropped out of high school isn't ambitious, but you get the gist of what I'm saying.
It's the same concepts and the same, the overall, the principles are the same, but they can be used in any type of situation, whether it's weight loss, it's achieving a goal, it's starting a business, anything.
And that point transitions into what we were discussing a few days ago about winning the mental battle of success. And going after goals, going after what you believe in won't be easy.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not. Even when you reach that pivotal point of saying, okay, I've reached my goal, it only becomes harder to counter on top of that goal and become better than what you've become. Right? Don't you agree?
No, yeah. I mean, I was actually reading John C. Maxwell's book on the 5 levels of leadership. And I mean, just like anything else, it's kind of like, a pyramid, and the highest level of leadership, this pinnacle level of leadership, is really one of those type of leadership that's bestowed upon you, right? And when you think about winning the mental battle, I mean, you think about success, or just winning that mental battle. Most people think that it's this upward trajectory, that it's just all good, all wins. And the reality, and the book kind of echoes this as well. Success, whatever it is, whether it's weight loss, like Shannon talked about, whether it's like the business example, whatever it may be, when it comes to challenges, it's more like a. But you cannot lose sight of what the goal is, and that's that whole mental, that mental toughness. I mean, that mental, having that state of mind, knowing that I'm gonna keep pushing through this thing no matter what.
You have to be mentally tough.
Sure.
Because, like you said, it's not going to be an even keel going upward. Yeah. Think about, follow the transition into success, or you attaining that job out of college. You're in high school. Okay, you have to apply for colleges. Say you get into the college that you want. Then, you think, oh, I'm in college. And then you realize the load of work that takes place. So you're kind of here, and then your morale's here because you're funnel. You may have to do internship. You may have to study. You have to mix that with party life. Come on, let's be honest.
Right.
We're talking about college, right? And then you get through college, and you get that job. You're starting at entry level. So you get that job and you're happy, and then you're here. Then you have to fight with others to get into that next role, right? Yeah. And then once you get into that next role, you want to become an executive, so forth. And so success is stages, and you have to be tough because you have to understand that it won't be easy at the next stage just because you're at a higher level. It only gets harder. It only gets tougher. Yeah. And you have to be mentally competent to understand that. Once you get there, you have to fight. You have to continue to fight.
And always maintain a good, proper professionalism. I mean, I think sometimes people can get a little too comfortable and they
Right.
let that 9 to 5. And something that was taught to me through one of my many mentors growing up is having a 9 to 5 and an after 5 personality. And I think as young professionals, one thing I've noticed is the importance of branding. And right now we're at the stage where our brand is so important that if we can mold it the right way, it can just help us later on in our careers.
Sure.
And making sure that we keep our 9 to 5 personality 9 to 5. We keep it professional. We don't bring in our personal life into our work life, and we make sure that people see us for who we are on a professional level when we're dealing with business, and making sure that after 5 stays after 5.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
No, I mean, I thought you were gonna, and I almost thought you were gonna touch on this. And I think mental toughness is one thing, but and it kind of goes along with branding and professionalism, is you have to do it with a smile. You got to have a positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
And, you can be tough, but you can't show your cards. Like, for instance, I've known many experiences and times that I've had professionally where I felt like I fell short in that respect. Where you have a manager you don't get along with, and you let that person affect your mood to where you're not, even if you are bringing your A game as far as performance, the team environment you create, you're kind of being that poison, to the extent you're not adding that extra flair or whatever the case may be to add that dynamic that's necessary. So when you think about, mental toughness is obviously what we're talking about here, but you have to always, be professional, have that positive mental attitude, do it with a smile, because if that's how you get to the next level, and that goes along with branding and everything else. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
I
I
agree.
definitely
And
agree.
staying consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency is very important.
consistency
in
is a
this.
huge key. Huge
Absolutely.
key. Well, huge key.
Absolutely.